David Toborowski sat on the balcony of their beautiful new home in Thailand, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The warm air carried the scent of Thai basil and lemongrass from Annie's cooking inside. He took a deep breath, letting the moment wash over him. This was a far cry from where they had started, struggling to make ends meet, doubted by many, and fighting through hardships that would have broken most couples. But here they were, together, stronger than ever, and basking in the joy of their new chapter with baby Minthira in their arms. David had never imagined that, at 56, he would be cradling a newborn, let alone one he had with the love of his life, Annie. Their journey had been unconventional, marked by an age gap that had raised eyebrows and financial struggles that had seemed insurmountable. But despite the odds, they had built a life filled with love, perseverance, and now success. The birth of their daughter had been an emotional experience. Annie had long dreamed of becoming a mother, and David had yearned for the chance to raise a child with her. After years of failed attempts and heartbreaking disappointments, IVF had finally made their dream come true. The moment little Minthira was placed in Annie's arms, David knew their lives had changed forever. Holding her tiny fingers in his hand, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. While adjusting to life with a newborn was challenging, it also strengthened their bond. Annie, ever the nurturing soul, poured her heart into caring for Minthira. While David balanced fatherhood with his thriving real estate career in the U.S., the couple split their time between America and Thailand, ensuring that Minthira experienced both of her parents' cultures. One of their biggest achievements during this time was the launch of their cookbook, The Secret Taste of Love. The book was a reflection of their journey, blending Annie's childhood memories with beloved recipes, each dish carrying a story of resilience, love, and connection. It had started as a passion project, a way to share the meals that had brought them closer. But when the book hit #1 in Thai cooking, food, and wine on Amazon in February 2025, they knew they had created something truly special. David and Annie were overwhelmed by the positive reception. Their fans, many of whom had followed their story since the early days of 90 Day Fiancé, embraced the book wholeheartedly. But as with all things in the public eye, not everyone was supportive. When David offered a discount on the book to celebrate Minthira's birth, some accused him of monetizing his newborn. The backlash was swift, but so was the unwavering support from their loyal followers. "People will always talk," Annie had said one night as they sat together in the nursery, watching Minthira sleep. "But we know our hearts. We know why we do what we do." David nodded, grateful for her wisdom. "And we do it for her," he whispered, kissing their daughter's forehead. Their success had allowed them to give Minthira a life full of opportunities. With the income from their book sales, real estate ventures, and online cooking classes, they were building a future not just for themselves but for their daughter. The next step was expanding their brand. With the overwhelming success of their cookbook, publishers had approached them with offers to write more. Fans clamored for more personal stories and recipes, eager to dive deeper into the culinary traditions that had shaped Annie's life and strengthened their relationship. There was talk of a second book, perhaps a memoir interwoven with even more recipes, and even a cooking show featuring their life in Thailand. David and Annie thrived on dreaming big. The success of their book wasn't just a milestone, it was the foundation for something greater. With a new baby in their lives, they knew they had an even bigger reason to keep pushing forward. And so, as the evening air grew cooler, David took Annie's hand in his. "Ready for the next adventure?" he asked, smiling at her. Annie grinned, her eyes filled with excitement. "Always." With their love as their anchor and their dreams guiding them forward, David and Annie knew their journey was just beginning. The next few months brought a whirlwind of activity. Between juggling late-night feedings and book signings, David and Annie worked on expanding their culinary brand. They started a YouTube channel where they showcased Thai recipes with a modern twist, giving fans an even closer look at their lives. The channel quickly gained traction, racking up millions of views as audiences fell in love with Annie's warm personality and David's humorous attempts at perfecting Thai cuisine. As their digital presence grew, so did the invitations to appear on talk shows and cooking segments. A major American morning show invited them to New York for a live cooking demonstration, an opportunity that thrilled them both. Traveling with an infant was no easy feat, but with careful planning and Annie's ever-patient approach to motherhood, they made it work. Standing in a gleaming television studio kitchen, Annie effortlessly prepared one of her signature dishes, while David charmed the hosts with stories about their journey. By the end of the segment, their book sales had skyrocketed, and they had secured new partnerships with major food brands. Despite their busy schedule, they never lost sight of what mattered most to their family. Late nights were spent snuggled up with Minthira, whispering dreams of the future. David often found himself gazing at her tiny face, marveling at the miracle of their love. But success came with its share of hurdles. The couple faced increasing scrutiny, with critics questioning their motives. Rumors swirled about their finances, and some accused them of using their daughter's birth for publicity. The negativity was disheartening, but David and Annie refused to let it overshadow their joy. "We've been through worse," David reminded Annie one evening as they read through social media comments. "People doubted us from the beginning, but look where we are now." Annie nodded, her resolve unwavering. "We just keep moving forward." And move forward they did. With the launch of their second book on the horizon and discussions of a cooking series in development, the future had never looked brighter. Through every challenge and triumph, David and Annie remained a testament to love's ability to overcome the greatest odds. As they sat together under the warm glow of the Thai moon, watching Minthira sleep peacefully in her crib, they knew one thing for certain: the best was yet to come.